see a veteran wearing that new outfit, he was like $1 million. Giving back is key for me, quite frankly. We did an event called Suiting Our Heroes, where we invited everybody to come in and basically donate their gently used suit. Because there's a lot of veterans out there, to be quite frank, that can't even afford a suit. So what we did was we had the community get involved, giving food, giving some soft drinks, and basically come out and donate your gently used suit. What we did with those suits is we went ahead and gave them to veterans that couldn't afford anything because they're gently used. We had them tailored. We donated a shirt and tie to go with that. And guess what? When you see a veteran wearing that new outfit, he was like $1 million. And he knows he can go out there for the next chapter of his life and feel confident about that.
Oops. What are you doing, man? You trying to cover me up?
I messed that up.
I know. I'm like, what? You know what happened? What had happened was,
what is going on?
I tell you, I'm looking at my surroundings, and something's wrong this week.
I got somebody. Hold on. He wants to make a guest appearance here. We got Mini Moak here.
We got the Mini Moak,
and he's wearing the latest Lounge with Legends apparel.
I love that shirt. Look at that shirt, man.
Yeah. He's about as tall as our guest today, too.
I just noticed our YouTube subscribers just went up with the Mini Moak appearance. We gotta love it. You know, that's the thing that we got. You know, we were supposed to be. I don't know if we told everybody. I'm supposed to be in DC right now.
Yeah.
What happened?
So we're supposed to be up here. We're supposed to be with General McChrystal today. Have coffee with him as a follow up. We're supposed to be filming this from WeWorks as part of our Bunker Labs initiative. We have coffees and all this stuff going on. But you got saddled with COVID, Omicron, in the house. And we had 2 instances of it here in the house. So the kids were in quarantine. They can go, one went back today. The other goes back tomorrow. And then I think even our guest had COVID last week. So I am about done with COVID and all of this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and hit my own Ranger that button on that one.
You're not kidding, man. You're not kidding. But you know, here's my plug for Hall's Relief. Here's what I'm taking right now. So if you hear my voice being scratchy, it's not because I have a bad mic, but it might be. But the real reason is because I'm just taking some hauls. So if I hit myself and put myself on pause, you know what's going on. But we got to make sure, you know, we were supposed to link up with Donnell today too. So we apologize to Donnell Johns. Just a lot of things, you know. This is the third time this year that my travels have been affected in this. You know, we were supposed to go to Charleston. Texas was a disaster for me. The Raleigh airport for the first time ever got closed, right? The whole morning was closed. All flights were canceled. So I just, you know, like you said, I'm ready to move forward and get through this COVID situation for sure. And then my cousin, actually, I see Nick popped on here, but my other cousin, Tony, he's now recovering from COVID as well. I just recovered.
I'm done with it, bro. I am done with it. But so we but we still have a lot going on with that. I mean, one of the good things, I guess, that came from COVID is remote working and doing this stuff. But hey, let's talk about our guest this week. We have I don't know. I don't know if I have the energy that's going to be coming in here in this lounge, because I tell you, just the amazing things that, you know, this legend is doing for others, and emphasis on others, because, you know, that's what he's doing for other people. I reached out to him a long time ago, and I know he'll probably mention this. A long time ago, I said, "Hey, how you do a podcast?" And he flooded my inbox with like so much information, I couldn't even read it all. I was like, "Marty, here, this is for you. Forwarded to you." I mean, the dude looks cool. Look at this. You see that? Is that a cool picture? What?
I tell you what, that's my camera guy, not your camera guy. That's my camera guy. I'm telling you.
I do this. I look like I'm missing my mouth and I'm supposed to be drinking. He looks at it. He looks like this. I don't know. This some sort of superhero.
Well, the first time I met him, though, was in person, was at the Veterans Growing America event in up your way. And I was intimidated. I was like, man, who is this guy? He was like a celebrity, right? So he was walking around. I got intimidated. I got intimidated. Yeah, by this guy right here. I got intimidated a little bit. And I said, you know what? When you get intimidated, you put yourself, you get a little fear, right? So then you put yourself in a box and then you start putting defenses up. I said, well, I probably shouldn't like that guy. He's too cool for me. But anyway, I tell you, it's laid down or laid back, always giving. I can't wait to get him into the lounge.
Are you ready to bring him on?
I don't know. Are we ready? Let's get situated first. Let's get situated before I noticed he's a backstage, but let's get the full.
Let's get the full effect going.
Now we're ready.
All right, yes. There we go. All right, you ready for this?
Yes.
All right, let's bring him in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. You guys are crazy, man. I'm back here laughing. No. Oh man. Oh, we're gonna talk about that.
Oh man, I tell you, I wasn't joking. The first time I met you, I said that guy's a celebrity. That guy is a celebrity.
I love it.
And then you had an entourage. I don't know if you remember. You were like walking around with it was a VIP, like a politician or something, and you were walking around here. I was like, who is that guy? He's like his own personal CSD right there.
Yeah.
No, man, I appreciate it. You guys are silly, man. Stop hyping it up. It wasn't that big.
I'm telling you, I met you. I met you at Mick DC.
Yeah.
And you talk about someone who had a stage presence, and he was just walking around. Like, who is this guy?
You know, that was the first time. Just to jump in here, the first time I was talking to Ruben, he's like, yeah, I know Marty. You know, that's my best Reuben voice impersonation. He's going to kill me for that one.
I like it.
Yeah, I know Marty. I was like, you know Marty? I know. I saw you at Fort Belvoir, and I was like, I know this guy from somewhere, and I could not connect it to. But then I saw a photo Vetpreneur Tribe posted.
Yeah.
The group photo we took at Mick at the end of the accelerator. You're in it. And I was like, that's where I remember seeing his face. Yeah. I didn't talk. I mean, I took so many photos that day and so many people. And everybody in that photo, I didn't know when I took it, except for a few people. But over the last couple, 2-3 years, we've all somehow connected and we're all friends in some way.
Yeah, no, and that's it's funny you say that, because as we went through, like, I didn't know Annette Wittenberger, and now, you know, I talk to her all the time and everything. So as I go through, I'm like, oh man, I knew all these, like, when we going into that, I knew Stephen Kuhn, and that was really, and Rob Garcia. That was about it. Mm-hmm. And I hadn't even met Rob Garcia. I only met Stephen Kuhn because we had been a Warrior Counselor 1.0 before they took it over. But I didn't really know anybody. But yeah, it's funny, especially now that we're all, you know, it's very tight knit. But awesome stuff. But yeah, I'm hoping that somewhere out there, Donnell is out there wearing the same gear. I'm sure he is.
Yeah. Great human being, Donnell. There he is. My dude, my brother from another mother, man. I love that guy. I met him at Mick also. I met a lot of
he don't know anyone
folks I know today. I met at that Mick we had. Was that 2019?
2019.
2019. So
at the Hinckley Hilton.
You know, hopefully COVID. You know, like you was mentioning, COVID's been in the way. It's been, you know, I'm just coming off of COVID. Last week, you know, I'm still on lockdown. You know, I'm still on lockdown. I can't venture out, but it will be nice when we're able to go out and go to these events like we have done before. But the reality is, we don't know when. You know, we don't know when.
We don't know when. Some of it's just going to be just brave it and do it. But so, I mean, we brought you in. We just kind of rushed right into it, blitzkrieg on this one. So,
like, hurry up!
Yeah, I know. You're so excited. I mean,
we're like green light. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about you. You have a very similar background to James and I. You grew up as an Air Force Army brat from a Korean Mexican home between Texas and Kentucky, something like that, right?
not quite, you know, but in short, I'm here by the way, born in Miami, Florida, by the way of the Bahama Islands, and about 1994 is when I decided, like, you know what, I'm gonna join the military. Actually, I was in a delayed entry program. So my junior year, I signed up. The only thing I knew about Rangers, I knew about Army Rangers because I was on a wrestling team, and one of my teammates joined the military on a Ranger contract. So he went to Ranger Battalion, and we were hearing about him all these years. But I graduated, went to basic, got to AIT as an admin clerk. Imagine that.
Okay.
Admin clerk. You know, I wasn't trying to jump out of airplanes. I wasn't trying to go to no field exercises. Like, hey man, I'm a city boy from South Beach, Miami, Florida. We're not about just laying in the ground and snooping in the woods. So that was my perspective going in, was just to go in, do some time, serve my country, travel a little bit, get some money for college, because from my household, that wasn't a thing that my mom could afford to pay for. I was the oldest of 3 boys, so I said, I'm gonna take that burden off of her and let her work on my other 2, my little brothers, and find a way for them to get to school, save that money for them, and I could get my own, you know? So that was my goal going into the military. But around 2 years in, man, I was like getting this itch, and I saw a SF briefing. I was like, you know what? That looks cool.
Yeah.
I want to do that. Oh, by the way, you know, money is a motivator. Money's a motivator, you know. Money could be a motivator. So unfortunately, my financial situation as a young soldier with kids, you know, wife and 2 kids at the time, wasn't so great. So that was a good option. I was used to being on winning teams. Not saying that the admin group I was working with was not a winning team, because I was doing great things there as an admin soldier. But that resonated with me, Special Forces. It looked elite. That looks like some elite stuff. I'm all about being elite. You know, champion wrestler through high school, even growing up. Had a little short stint on a world-class athlete program for wrestling. Got DA selected for that in '96. Nice. But you know, things didn't work out. So life got in the way. It was either be a dad or be an Olympian in '96. Yeah. So I chose being a dad, and that was a good choice. So no, man, it was. And fast forward, Afghanistan. Africa, Germany, Ethiopia, Djibouti, Nairobi, like Oman, the Middle East. I spent a lot of time in the Middle East, even though.
Oh, so those are places you went, not places.
Yeah, those are places I went for work. You know, like, little old me not wanting to go out in the field and do stuff, you know. Yeah. So, but no, it was. I mean, weirdest situation. You know, when you get close to retirement. You see all these movies of something happening to somebody when they're almost right there, and it was like, hey, Chris, a unit requested you. They want you to come and be with them, and you're the guy. We're sending you. And I'm like, I'm retiring. Well, until you leave, until you go do that, we're not going to push your paperwork for it. So it was like, okay. But the trip to Oman was awesome. Never been there before. Got to see, actually, culture-wise, got to see some people that looked like me who thought I was a native, but I couldn't speak the language. You know, I didn't speak Arabic. So, but no, Oman was nice. It was good to see that. Muscat, went there, saw that, and did some work there, and then came back home and retired in 2015. And I'm just doing all this stuff. You know, that was the Army. It sounds like a short story, but
no, I mean,
that's the best way I could just package it up for you, you know?
Yeah, you were, you know, it reminded me of my old PowerPoint days when, you know, be brief, be brilliant, be gone. So that was really short. I know that there was a lot more to your Army career than that, and I'm sure that I'm not trying to say some of it you probably can't even talk about, So
Come on, man. You know the deal.
So
You know how it is.
so when did you meet Ruben? I can't do your voice. I love your Ruben impersonation.
You like my Ruben voice?
It sounds like a Puerto Rican Mike Tyson.
I'm gonna bring it in. I'm gonna bring it in. I'm gonna bring it. You're gonna kill me for this one. I did that with Rod Rodriguez too. I know if you know him, Rod Rodriguez is a good friend of mine, and I made a funny voice with him. But no, funny story, short story. I met Ruben through a close friend of mine, Ren Lagan, and him and Ren were in 7th group together, and they were friends. So I didn't even know Ruben until really about 6 months prior to starting Triple Nickel.
Wow.
And Ruben reached out to me, and we have a mutual friend, and I was moving to Texas from Virginia, and I was like, hey, I'm going to Texas. I need you to hook me up with every SF dude you know in Texas. I have to change my network. I'm leaving Virginia. I got to go, move, shift and lift to Texas, and I'm going to Fort Hood, and like hook me up. So at the same time, my buddy, Ren is like, hey, man, you need to get in contact with Ruben. He's a good dude. I think you guys hit it off. He's in Texas. He's in San Antonio. And I was like, cool, I'll do that. Then our mutual friend, she sent an email to me and was like, hey, this is the guy you need to get in contact with. Not knowing it was Ruben, who Ren introduced me to. And, the short story is we connected. I went to his house. I was like, hey, man, I heard about you. He told me what he was thinking about doing for Triple Nickel at the time. And I was like, hey, I'm going to come down, and I want to look you in your face, man. I want to look you in your eye, face to face. And that's how I am. Like,
right.
If anybody knows me, anybody who knows me as a close friend, I'm all about coming and talking to you face to face. And figure out your vibe and figure out who you are. And if it doesn't click, it doesn't click. I'm not going to force it, I'm not going to force it. So that's one thing I like to do, especially when I'm getting ready to do something big. And somebody, like you said, Marty, like I help a lot of people do things. And that's just in my nature. I just love doing it. I believe it's one of my superpowers. So that's why I do it. I enjoy passionately helping other people, and most of the times, that's what it is. So if I'm gonna do that with somebody and help them out, and I always tell Ruben, and we talk about this, and all my friends, I was like, nobody can see your vision unless they're sitting next to you. So if you want me to sit next to you and not on the other side of the table, I have to come and talk to you, look in your eye first, and then I move over on your side and look where you're looking. Like, okay, I could sign up for that. That looks like a good thing. So that's my practice, man. Ruben, since day one, real cool dude, real laid back, very innovative mind, very caring person. I can't say too much. And through him, I met Rod. I didn't know Rod. Another SF brother, didn't know him. And then, and through all of us, I met Cortez, and that's how we all got together. I was like, well, if you want to do this, I know this guy who we need to get in contact with. And that's how we all got together, man. That's the short story. That's straight from the streets. That's how it happened.
Well, the thing I like most about you, Chris, is you do it from experience. Like you don't, what I'm saying? Like you got an amazing podcast. Now you're doing the podcast again. What are we doing with the podcast?
Well, so what happened was. So the Team Room Talk podcast is the one I started, and I had fun doing that. And that was basically an experiment to help me get out. actually it was a gig to help with public speaking. I was in Toastmasters. I was like, hey, let me start this podcast. I was very intrigued with podcasting after meeting Ron Rodriguez. We worked together as analysts, and he was doing it. And I really had a hard time at first speaking into the microphone and getting my thoughts together and just going with it. So what you're seeing now is just perfect practice. And I have been working on this for some years. So that whole podcast venture with the Team Room Talk, it shut down because I jumped into a master's program. So it went away for like a whole year. It's still on the quiet. I might reboot it, but once getting with Ruben and Kurt and Rod with Triple Nikle, but juggling my time, that's where I dedicated my time. And we launched our initial episode. We did a couple episodes, but like in the episode we just released last week, things got busy, and we want to, when we start up, we want to do all these things. We want to do podcasts. We want to post on social. We want to make videos. We want to make content, but we want to make money too. So you got to figure out like what's making me money, making a podcast or getting out here hustling these shirts and learning the business and going old school. And that's what I said is like, we just went old school. What we know, winning hearts and minds, the SF Green Beret way, go in there, shake hands with the people, let them know what you have to offer, and then they either take it or you move on. So I just went back to being a salesman is where I learned to sell, being a real estate agent. In 2006, I was an agent with Caldwell Banker, and that's how I learned how to sell, because buying a house is one of the most expensive things you'll probably buy in your lifetimes, and it's a very emotional process. So you have to connect with people and make them feel comfortable with spending that money, especially if they don't know what they're doing. And most people don't know the process of buying a house. Like, that's why we have real estate agents. That's why we, and back then we didn't have all the stuff we have online, like Zillow and USAA with all these things and all these sites that help you. YouTube wasn't that hot then. I don't think, YouTube was coming online, but nobody wasn't looking at YouTube like that. Like, oh, let me go in here and figure out how to buy a house. So, short story, man. That was it, man. That's how the podcast is rebooting. So if you haven't seen, I'm gonna plug it right now. Go and check it out. Episode 3 is packed. It's basically an episode about what we did in the last 12 months. The startup, the challenges, the setbacks, the people we met, the people that helped us, the anniversary party, and that was dope. And what we're the new lines that are coming out for 2022 and what our vision is, and so it's the reboot, and we're going to get it back online.
No, I like that because it is. I mean, it was a lot of things that you guys did accomplish with just Triple Nikle. You got all the other things going on too, but with Triple Nikle, you had a huge 1-year anniversary party, from a little shirt company,
little t-shirt
company to blowing this thing up. That's what we're all rocking today. James even got on the Lounge with Legends, official Lounge with Legends shirt. That's produced by Triple Nikle.
Look at you wearing the Latino. Look at you. Look, I see you. Oh man, he's changing up on me. Woo!
James even got the new Lounge with Legends hat again by Triple Nikle, because we believe in everything you guys are doing. And I know Donnell, he's chiming in. He's got Triple Nikle Veterans Grew in America stuff, Red Friday stuff too. So now what you guys are doing is important, and we love it. Celebrating unity by celebrating our diversity. And that's huge. And I think that's something that doesn't come through a lot is you guys came together. And again, we're getting in the second half of the hour already, but you guys came together, and you're not just selling shirts, just selling merchandise. There's a purpose behind it. I think that's what really separates you out from a lot of the other veteran-owned shirt companies and stuff like that. Because anyone can put a gun on a shirt and some quirky saying on there, but you guys have different things on there, which we really like, and that's why we love you. So
the thing, and I want everybody to tune into episode 3 of your podcast there. But the thing that I really could relate with was when you were just, you and especially you made the comment, you said, hey, look, we're not perfect. We started this thing. We weren't perfect. We're going to make mistakes. And I thought it was very, I love the honesty about, hey, look, we're learning this thing, and how you had that first, couple of folks that believed in you. Buffalo Soldiers came to you all. And, just that whole mindset of, hey, look, we're going to make mistakes. We're humans. But the thing that makes you all different is you make it right. The truth in lending, the thing I like about you most is, I've had a lot of dealings with apparel companies other than yourself, but I won't use anybody else now, because I want to make sure that I believe in the brand that I'm wearing. At one point in my life, I won't say the name of the other company, no disrespect to them, but I don't believe in things that are going on with that organization. But I do believe in what you all are doing, because here's the thing. That's the third hat that we went back and forth with Lounge of Legends. I haven't paid $1 out of there. Reuben's like, hey, we're going to get this thing right.
Don't tell Chris. You don't know yet.
What's that?
I said Chris didn't know that. Don't say it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Reuben, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to tell Chris that.
Dude, no, hey, that's okay. That's the beauty of us, man. We work, we're used to working as singletons, and I'm okay, because we know we all know the mission. We all know the mindset. So we know the intent. We know the intent,
Yeah. But yeah, that episode was so powerful because it was truth. And that's the thing, Marty and I are not perfect. I don't know if you noticed that we did a sizzle reel yesterday with you. I didn't notice I know you're a professional video cinematology editor and stuff. I don't know if you noticed there was a little mistake on there when we introduced you on our little drop-down box in the video.
I did, man.
What, James?
So, what's that, Marty?
Thanks a lot, Spotlight Ranger.
Everybody.
Dude.
We make mistakes.
Go ahead.
No, we make mistakes. So basically, we might have misspelled a word.
Misspelled triple nickel.
So, but that's the thing about it. The beauty of it is, hey, look, we own up for our mistakes. We're human beings. We make mistakes. We're not perfect. The beauty of it is now, since we're retired, most of our mistakes are not going to cost somebody their life, and that's the key, right? So we got to really focus in on that and hunt the good stuff, like Marty said. And, that I had to point that out because somebody emailed me yesterday, said, you spelled that wrong. I said, well, okay. So anyway, it may or may not have been Ruben. But anyway, I will talk about that later.
I misspelled. I spelled it incorrectly. It was my fault. I'll own it up to it, because I had the littles here. And James goes, after we published it, he goes, should we change it? I was like, nah, bro, you rig it, you write it. We're in it. We're in it to win it now.
But, somebody did a bad JMPI of our T10 Charlie.
That's the. I think, I don't know where I was listening to some podcast, and this is my belief, right? So we've all been in COVID, we've all been on our phones, we've all been watching YouTube. A lot of people have been going virtual. A lot of people have been starting courses and starting businesses online and getting very savvy to what's happening on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to fool people these days.
Yeah.
Like, don't BS people. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I think as you start looking at a lot of videos with advertisements, you'll start seeing those videos they're starting to fade away. That style of hyping it when it's really not what you're hyping is not really what it is. So for us, it's just easy. Like I said, we remember this term, fake it till you make it. Well, we didn't have to fake it because that's not my style.
Right.
When you meet me online right here, that's the same person you're going to meet in person.
That's true.
If I'm fun in person, if you piss me off, you're going to get it. But most of the time, it's very hard to do that. I try not to go there because, that's a whole different, that's like the angry Smurf, right?
Hey, I've seen your workout videos. I'm not messing with you, man. I've seen your workout videos. I'm not messing with you. You still got it. You still got it.
I try. But that's how I feel about the internet and marketing. I've been listening to a lot of Seth Godin, and I don't know what podcast I was listening to, but if you can be transparent with your customers and with your brand, I mean, don't air out all your dirty laundry now. Like, they don't need to know, but just be a real person and don't be fake about your brand. You know, don't be fake about it.
So I'm holding up here. I think you guys have read it, the 4 agreements. We talk about this all the time. And what you're hitting at, Chris, is right about this is the first agreement, be impeccable with your word. Don't fake it till you make it. Actually be who you are and do what you say. Like, don't take anything personally, especially on the internet, you know, about what people are going to say about you. Third agreement, don't make assumptions, especially now where, you know, if you're a veteran entrepreneur and you're trying to close a sale and, what are they going to do? What are they going to say? Don't make assumptions. And then the fourth one, always do your best.
No, man,
I mean, that's what you're getting at right there, brother. That's why we love that book.
I mean, when I think back to my days, you know, I talk about, you know, I made the military journey short, but I learned so much in special operations about dealing with the populace and dealing with people who, like, we were taught to deal with people who have less than what a lot of people think they have less in America. Let's just start there, right? Mm-hmm. And so we are trained to go into places where people have less. And one thing, back to, we just have to meet people where they're at, right? So when I meet somebody, I'm like, yo, you know, it's like what James was saying. When he saw me, he was like, yo, and I've heard that before. People have seen me and think I'm like, I don't know what it looks like from that side. You know, I'm just doing what I do, but like literally, you know, that's why I don't come out like that. Like who cares? And that's what was my mindset coming out the military is like, nobody cares what you've done prior to you getting there because you're the new guy.
Right.
Right? You're the new gal. You have to prove yourself to that group, to that team, to that organization, to that customer. The customer doesn't care. They want to know what's in it for them.
Yeah.
The with them. What's in it for me, right? What's in it for me, right? So they don't care about, you know, like Simon Sinek says, the golden circle. When I started breaking that down, I was like, you know, that's so true. Like, they don't care about what you do and how great your product is. They just want like, is this going to solve my problem? You know,
absolutely.
That's going to solve my problem. And as I started taking this journey down entrepreneurship and getting on the consumer side, because I started doing business in the government side, totally different customer. And, you know, I was doing government contracting, selling my skills back to the government and collaborating with people in a government sense. So they just want a thing done at the best ability. They don't care. There's no emotion involved with it, right? Mm-hmm. But when you're dealing with a customer, like in retail on this side, it's different. It's very finicky. You got to watch what you say. If you piss a customer off, you're going to get a bad review, blah, blah, blah. You know, they're going to blow you up on the internet, talk about how bad you are. Some customers are going to be real ugly about it, you know? And you know what? I have no problem being the best business owner I can be. And I'll say it. It's bad customers out there.
Yeah.
And then there's bad businesses out there. So we're both guilty, you know. You know, they say the customer's always right. Yeah, to a certain extent. You know, to a certain extent, you know. Right. So that's how I look at it, man. I've just learned to be, even with starting Green Beret Media and starting with photography, when I started doing headshots, I would go in my basement after work. I was working as an IT project manager at INSCOM, and I would go in my basement after work every day. I said, I'm going to get this right. I was watching YouTube videos on work time. And then I would go home and I would
listening,
practice.
You're fine.
Say what? You saw that? You saw I threw that in there? Just so I would go home and I would shoot these headshots and practice shooting them myself. Then I hosted like a headshot session with my closest friends, right? So I had Mike Whitlow was there, a couple people from my work, a couple people that I already knew. I brought them in and I just like I need your honest feedback. Like, do you like the photo? what can I do better? And you have to be open for honest feedback from your customers, from your peers, from your partners. I mean, even your haters, you know, like look at that. You know, if they're hating on you, I say, look at that. It's like, well, okay, I can see that, you know, because all information when you're collecting and trying to, you know, refine your business and refine your services, all information, all data is good. And it's up to you to analyze it and see if it's worthy. Does it help you? Or if not, just throw it out because it could be skewed. So that's what happens, you know?
Well, I think that's, I just popped up the Veterans Grow in America. That's one of the great things about having these organizations like Donnell has with Veterans Grow in America and what they're doing. Because I know when James and I were starting, we were kind of doing a penguin salute, looking at each other going, okay, well, I mean, I got some of this here, some of it there. Where do you find it all? How do you find that one-stop shop? And there's organizations like Donnell's Veteran Grow in America that definitely help. And yeah, I think for you, what was your biggest challenge, like getting started?
The biggest challenge for me getting started, I would say my first business was way back in like 2000, man. I think just having the knowledge. I taught myself how to build computers in the mid-90s. And while I was in the Q course in 2000, when the internet was coming online and people were getting PCs. So we're talking 286s, 386s, 486s era. And I taught myself through a home study course through a company, I think it was called PCDI Correspondence. I did it online. They sent me stuff. I would go to the thrift store and buy old computers and open them up. Like, oh, this is a motherboard. This is, you know, a video card. This is a sound card. And that's what I did. So while I was in the Q course, guys were trying to learn the language. And they gave us a stack of CDs for, it was the Bimlic. It was pre-Rosetta Stone, right? So they gave us this stack of CDs. And guys could only go to the computer lab in the JFK Special Warfare Center there on Fort Bragg on Ardennes. And I was like, you know what? You need a computer? And all these guys were getting their bonuses, right? So back to the money is a motivator.
Yeah.
Back to the money. See, money is a motivator, right? Money was the motivator at the time. I was living in the barracks, you know, coming off a divorce, you know, so times were hard. And I was like, you know what? You need a computer, right? I can build a computer. So I got a tax ID number, went to a local computer shop, bought my computer parts, and I would put computers together for folks. They paid the cost of the materials. I charged them $75, and I put a computer together and give them a copy of Windows 95 at the time. I don't know where, you know, it was a trial copy. Let's call it that.
Yeah, that's it. That's a ticket.
Government copy.
Yeah, we call it a trial copy. And then I give them that free internet AOL, you know, the CDs, AOL online, the free trial. I give them that, you know, so that helped them get on the internet. And that was really my first, you know, go at trying to exchange a product for a service and solve somebody's problem. And after that, it was, you know, still trying to do the computer thing, but it was just too much. I just didn't have the time and the resource and the knowledge. So I needed more knowledge about business. And so I did that. I learned about one of my closest friends. He's like, hey man, you should get in a government contract. I was like, really? You think so? I was like, I know this lady, she supplies balls for the athletic balls for the gym. Let me clarify. For the gym. You got, freaking Army humor, military humor. So long story short, I was like, really? He's like, well, how do I get into that? He was like, go to SBA.gov. I was like, all right. He's like, and read everything. I was like, that's not a lot of help, right?
Yeah.
So I did that, and they had a page there at the time that says, how to start a business as a veteran, how to get into government contracting. I don't know any better, so I followed the list. I went and I registered my business name. I went to Duns and Bradstreet. I got a Duns number. I got an EIN, and then I got a business account, and I needed a business plan. So I hired somebody to build me a business plan and build the IBIS report through the local PTAC there at Fayetteville State, the business center, and I paid somebody to build this business plan for a security consulting company based off of my skills that I had. So I did that, and that was the first entry. But it's always not knowing what you don't know. I would say that's the biggest challenge, because after I figured it out, it was just doing it,
Yeah. That's huge. I think that's a lot of us getting out of the military. We have a lot of great skill sets, initiative, a way to just make it happen, but you still kind of need what do I need to do? Show me the steps. And I think that's what's great. I think that's your special forces training. That's a lot of the military training crossing over, like you've already said, is I need to meet you and see where you're at. I need to meet where you're at, and then carve your own path. I think that's what I'm getting from you, the lessons you've taken from the military into entrepreneurship.
No, it's spot on, man. It's always, I think that's the biggest thing. It's not, money. It's not coming up with an idea. It's like just being a self-learner. That's one thing
Right.
I've always been before. I said it to Rod. I said, when you go to SFAS or when you go to rope, or you go to all these assessment courses, when you go to assessment course, this is my belief, you're already that person, right? So you have to go through this gate and that organization wants to know, are you really that person? So that's what that assessment course is, a test to see if you're that person. Work ethic, I learned from just being with my mom and growing up in South Florida and doing the things we did for our family, but also playing sports as a kid. I played football. I ran cross country. I ran track and field. I was a champion wrestler on my wrestling team, and that took a lot of hard work and dedication and know how to train. So me going as SFAS, as far as knowing how to train my body and get physically in shape, that was the easy part. The other part I didn't know was like all the tactical stuff. So the technical stuff I need to know about, small unit tactics and how to literally, I had to learn how to put on a ruck, because when you're a garrison soldier, you get a medium ruck. So when I went to PLDC at Fort Hood during that time, after I graduated, I went and bought a large Alice pack from the clothing and sales.
Yeah. And
I went back home to Fort Riley, Kansas, and I lived on the top of Custer Hill in the housing area, and I would ride my bike to PT, ride it back home. I would ruck down the hill. I would ruck back home. I had to learn how to road march. I didn't know how to road march. I'm a garrison soldier. I'm getting in a truck. I'm in the office. I don't need to, I had to learn about my feet swelling up and getting blisters, how to deal with that. So I went through a whole learning curve of how to be like a combat soldier, just physically, and harden my body. So when I went to SFAS, it was easy. Like physically, I was trained, I did everything I needed. That little book they gave me, I just was like, okay, I need to ruck 20 miles. Like, man, that's a lot. I need to swim. I need to practice PT every day. I just followed the instructions, and it worked out, man.
The Forrest Gump, you told me to, Joe Sargent.
Yeah, it just worked out, man.
So you're at a disadvantage because you didn't have, like James Phelps. He had Reuben teach him all this stuff when they were in the 325. He didn't, you didn't have a Reuben to teach you.
Ruben took me under his coattails, and he taught me the way and showed me the way.
Donnell wants to know about Gap.
There he is. So, true story. Let me see. All right, 2-minute story. All right, watch the time. So here's the story about GAP. GAP is an acronym that I came up with as a philosophy that I came up with watching Donnell. I met Donnell, and this is the backstory. So I met Donnell, and I was like, Donnell, man, I see what you're doing. I always see him online. And I was like, he's always promoting other people, right? I was like, man, but he never talks about himself, right? He never talks about himself. Even when you try to talk about him, he'll flip it back on you. Like, nah, you the man, you the man, you the man. So one day I was listening to, I'm a big fan of Gary Vee. It was a lot of inspiration for me getting into media and all this stuff. So he was talking about, just this gap and, being this and being authentic and being genuine. And he was talking about social media. So I was like, and he had I forgot what he used, but I was like, I need to come up with an acronym like that. Like, I need a cool. So the gap, I came up with the gap. Everybody knows gap, and it's not that gap. It's not all the gaps you think it is, but gap, the G stands for learning the game, right? You got to learn the game, whether it's business, whether it's social media, whether it's podcasting, whether it's life. You got to learn the game, right? If you ever read the book, The Game, one of my favorite books, I've read it, check it out. Neil Strauss, Rolling Stone's editor, wrote this book called The Game. It's about guys in California, pickup artists. Go check it out. But I was like, yeah, you got to learn the game, number one. Number two, you got to be authentic. And that's what we've been talking about. That's why I'm like, I am what you see, right? I'm not going to show you nothing. And if you don't see it, I don't want you to see it. You got to get it in front of me and ask me and get to know me, because there's certain things I don't share online. Like everybody shares everything, but that's not me. Like, I'm not hiding nothing, but I prefer other things to be close hold. The other part of it is what I got from Donnell, which was a practice promoting other people. And if you want to be effective on social, you want to be effective at your job, you want to be effective in your community, learn the game, be authentic, and practice promoting other people. And that's the gap right there from Chris McPhee.
You trademarked that, right? You already trademarked
that's me.
That, right?
I am now. Okay, it's mine. I said it.
I held this book up because you said Gary Vee. Have you read his new book, 12 and a Half?
No.
Get this book. This is great. It talks about the actual soft skills in business, not just the hard skills, the soft skills. You'll love that.
I mean, it's paramount for us as operators. That I'm gonna just say that's the difference between Rangers, SEALs, and Green Berets, right? We are that. They teach us from day one, build rapport. A lot of people don't know how to do that. That's a soft skill, right? You have to build rapport before you're able to either help somebody or get something from somebody or get somebody to do something. Like, yeah, I know we in turmoil and we're being oppressed and, dudes are shooting at us all day, but who are you, America? Why should we let you in our country and let you help us fight this fight? We've been here all these years. You mean you're going to show up today and solve all our...
Right.
And that's where that rapport building coming down, meeting people where they're at, meeting people where they're at. Who is it? Is it Thomas Scott? I forget his name. It dropped my name, but he has a program called Rooftop Leadership. He's a commander, 7th group commander. I forget his name. It rings my bell now, but he has a program called Rooftop Leadership, and that's what he talks about. The same methodologies we use in Afghanistan to connect with the local villagers is the same mindset when you're dealing with customers, when you're dealing with organizations and business. You got to meet people where they're at. So don't come. I'm here to save the day. I said, nobody cares about it. What are you going to do for them? For me,
exactly.
That's what the customer, that's what the person. Let's go back to our wives and girlfriends. I always like to use that model of how you could treat. If you could get past that with our wives. Hold on a second. Whoa. With our wives and girlfriends, we could get past that. How's that? Scott Man. There we go. Scott Man. There we go. Scott Man. Love that guy. Saw this play. great play, and I got a chance to see him and be a part of his class. And I spent 3 days, thanks to a close friend of mine, Jenny Clark. Shout out Jenny Clark from Solvability. I was working with her as her camera guy. She hired me. I spent a year working with her as a personal camera guy. And she was like, Chris, we need to go to this leadership course. It's with Scott Mann. And we did rooftop leadership. And I loved it because I knew exactly what he was talking about. I knew exactly where he was coming from. The same skills we learned. I mean, they could transition. You just got to figure out how it fits into the mix. And that's it. It's all about, at the end of the day, man, winning hearts and minds.
I love it. Brother, you've carried so many great lessons learned from the military to entrepreneurship, and you just spout it out so fluently, that a lot of times we have to actually pull it out of different people, not just guests on the show. We're talking about clients as well, but you're throwing it out there. So much knowledge on the wall.
I've been practicing, man.
I'm telling you.
I got about 2 years of practice,
That's what Marty
I know what this is about. I know what you need.
Marty
I'm trying to be a good guest, man. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be a good guest.
I imagine too, you painted this image of you going into the village and why do you, why should we listen to you? And then Reuben comes out with his voice, that you've done so great on the show, then doing the speaking for the you all. And then you tell him, sit down, fool, I got this. That's kind of what I'm envisioning now. But I'm just kidding. But
no. Reuben is, dude, I love working with that dude, man. And I'm gonna be honest. It's like I forget the theory in project management, but it's I want to say Tuckman's ladder, one of them. But it's like that phases we go in when we meet up, and we're storming, norming, forming, adjourning, joining and adjourning, right? And so we go through that process. So we all, as Triple Nikle, went through that process of 4 different minds. Like Ruben and Rob were used to working with each other. I didn't know them. They didn't know Kurt. I wasn't used to working with Kurt. We weren't used to working with each other at all. So I think the coolest thing about our startup is how you have 4 minds coming together that never worked together to launch a company in such a short time. And we just believed in each other. We just let our guards down. We were authentic. And I'm saying it was easy, the first 30 days. We had to break some spirits. Some spirits got broken. But, it just goes back from where we come from as veterans and the place, the characters that we've built to that point. And we just got mad respect for each other, and we listen to each other. And if we disagree, we say it, but it's not in a disrespectful way. It's just like, yo, this is how I'm looking at it. But we always try to look and see where our teammate, where he's coming from, because obviously he's seen something that the other 3 of us don't see, or if 2 of us are seeing it and the other 2 are not, we have to get everybody on the same sheet of music. And that's always our goal when we make decisions, to get everybody on the same sheet.
I love it. Hey, brother, we're getting at that time, so I want to give you ample time for the for Freedom Means. So obviously we thank our sponsor, A-Rod Salute to Suits, for our Freedom Means moment. If you're a transitioning veteran looking for a great suit, check them out over at A-Rod Salute to Suits, and they'll put you in there. But so we'll go ahead and ask you the question now. You've served, you've sacrificed, you've done so much for our great nation. Chris, what does freedom mean to you?
No, that's a solid one, and I'm gonna go direct to camera with that one. I hope everybody's listening, and everything you've heard me talk about to this point. And I've been thinking about that question. You told me about this in the pre-interview, and I was thinking about it last night, and honestly, that's what it means. Everything I've been talking about for the last, 55 minutes, that's what freedom means to me, to being able to collaborate with my friends, go off and do things in foreign land and help people, and start a business, help people, learn wherever not being denied knowledge. You got to think when you just outside of the military, as a man of color, that wasn't allowed. This is the month of Martin Luther King just passed. Next month we have Black History Month. So for me, from my perspective, all the things you heard me speak of in the military, that wasn't possible. Yeah, it was, but it had restraints to it. It wasn't freely, and then just being in the 82nd, when you talk about triple nickel, like, it wasn't allowed for me to even, I want to jump out of airplanes. So you mean I can't do it, but everybody else is doing it? Like, that's not cool. So everything you've heard me talk about, meeting with people, helping people, going places, traveling, being able to do whatever it is I feel that I want to do, and that's the freedom. It's not just tied to patriotism. It's not just tied to just serving the country. Just having the free will to do good things, whenever you want, within the rules, because that's the thing. You got to do it. You got to play within the rules, So I'm not the guy who makes the rules here. I'm just trying to live with them and get and do the things I want at free will, and that's what freedom means to me.
Bam, love it. I like it. That's Chris McPhee. Meet you where you're at.
That's it. I love it.
Love it. I'll give you the Wiley Coyote Super Genius Award right there.
Dude, that was one of my favorite cartoons growing up.
But hey, I appreciate it, brother. Thank you for being our legend this week, and thank you for all you do. We love Triple Nickel, and we'll continue to support you. Looking forward to the second year anniversary and next November.
It's gonna be big announcement coming soon. Stay away, COVID. That's all I gotta say. Stay away, COVID.
Yes.
Hey, you thought that party was dope. Wait till you see this one.
Oh man, I can't wait. Maybe James can make it to this one. He won't shut down.
I didn't want to win the 90s.
Hey, I'm gonna let everybody know right now. If you better watch the thread for the Triple Nickel repeat anniversary party, year 2. Dude,
this time we're
you know what I'm saying? And don't miss it. So keep watching the thread, keep watching your Facebook, keep watching your Instagram, keep watching your Twitter. Keep watching Lounge with Legends, because they're going to start promoting it too. So
absolutely. All right, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you, and we will talk to you soon. Oh, he was about to say, "Oh, dang it, I'm all like out of control."
Chris off. You cut him off. You cut him off. You're doing backstage.
He was about to tell me how I'm his favorite host, and I cut him off too.
I tell you, one thing he didn't do. We're going to practice the gap approach on this. Make sure you follow Chris. framesbychrismcphee.com. Make sure you go there, link up with them. And if not there, go to Green Beret Media. Link up with them there. You need professional headshots, event photography, video production, documentary film production, podcast production. He is your camera guy. Trust me. He is the guy.
And then, and we'll put all this in the comments so you can follow them. Check out their Triple Nickel Reboot podcast. Everything they're doing. These guys are amazing. We absolutely love them. James, next week we got a special event. We've got Donnell and some others coming on from Bunker Labs. We're working that right now. So that'll be.
Is that why you mailed me this coffee mug? Where'd it go?
It is Bunker Labs, and I'm drinking my Moak coffee out of there. We need to get Chris some Moak coffee from.
We will.
Third Day Seguin Coffee. But it's been a pleasure and an honor again to have him on, and we'll see you next week. So thank you for your service, and hope everyone gets better at your house, James.
Airborne.
You've been watching the Lounge with Legends show, countering the narrative that veterans are all broken misfit toys. Veterans are the lifeblood of American freedom. Serving in harsh situations, coupled with their training, have forged them into some of the most resilient and capable leaders in the world. And that's where we come in, celebrating the success stories, taking you on a journey of transformation from military to business. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll be back soon But find us on Facebook at Lounge with Legend or at JTF214. Till next time.